Okay, so this is just a brief thing about a challenge. Does anybody know what? I didn't know about it. Does anybody know what this 4YFN means? 4 years from now. Okay. Okay. Nobody knows. That's great. But it's there's the Mobile World Congress that happens every year in Barcelona. I think it's like, I've never been there, but has anybody been there? It's like a, hey.
Oh no, I thought you were the smart CEO.
No, it's like the place where every time they announce new phones, every time they announce all their new devices, it's like the biggest mobile congress in the world. Alongside the Mobile World Congress, they started a couple of years ago this 4 years from now initiative, and it's kind of like a sidetrack all about startups, business acceleration. They have like a separate side auditorium where they have people pitching ideas, people bringing in all their new kind of cool startups, and then there's a lot of investors there, there's a lot of interest from the international crowd. And I'm going to walk over here because this is actually a PDF, it's not even a, oh, they're arranging this year, or IBM Bluemix is arranging a challenge. And the idea is that it's trying to gather great ideas from all around the world, and it's arranging a series of sort of filters. So in the end, what there'll be is they've asked groups like us, like the Internet of Things group here in Amsterdam, to try and get together as many potential challenges as possible. They'd like us to try and get 15 challenges and group them together with 15 other challenges from different parts of the Netherlands. And in the end, there's going to be sort of like a challenge event in January where we try and pick the best 5 from the Netherlands. And those best 5 startup ideas will actually go forward to 4 years from now part of the conference and actually have a place on stage at the Mobile World Congress to present their idea. The particular challenge is all to do with IBM Bluemix, and so it's very narrow boundaries. We've talked about IBM Bluemix, or I've talked about IBM Bluemix before, but I've since now had a training course in IBM Bluemix, so I'm fully qualified to show you how to log in, and that's about it. But it's, well, essentially what it is, and I have to say, I'm in no way promoting IBM Bluemix. I'm not necessarily sort of promoting it above other solutions, but IBM Bluemix is basically a sort of cloud hosting platform, but a little bit like Google or Amazon Cloud, but typical sort of IBM, the way that they do things, it's kind of like a cluster of applications. And so what they've done is they've kind of made their own, you could call it an app store. So people would go to Amazon. If you go to the Amazon cloud and you set up a server, and then maybe you want to have a firewall and you hook that in, and maybe you want object storage and you get an object store and you kind of put it together. Most of those come from Amazon themselves. You can also maybe buy a pre-made server setup from somebody that's made like a pre-installed server for a particular use. But there isn't a lot of sort of, in a way like Apple have achieved with their App Store, there's not a lot of that going on in the Amazon store, Amazon Cloud, also the same with the Google Cloud. So what IBM have done is they've brought together a sort of a cloud hosting platform where business people can come and just get a new server. They're leveraging their existing user base. So IBM have got, of course, a huge amount of existing corporates that have the need, that have the feeling that they want to do innovation projects, so they want to have more servers on a short term, so they want to have project teams use, provision servers. But they also brought in this kind of concept, which I think is quite good, that they have this private and public. So at the moment in Amazon, I think pretty much everything is in the cloud. What they have is they have the idea that you can actually have a part of the IBM Bluemix public cloud, or you can have a completely private part of the cloud, or you can have a hybrid, so you can actually have some of the servers in your own corporate environment and some of it in the cloud. You can share services across them. So what they've done is they've built this kind of platform which, if you were to build sort of, if you think about it, it has kind of like a really built-in user base, a bit like the Apple, you know, Apple App Store has a built-in user base of iPhone users. IBM Bluemix has a sort of built-in user base of lots of corporates that trust IBM for years and years and years. So it's not starting from scratch like Amazon. And what they've done is they've modularized it. So you can actually put in services, and Yuri at the beginning mentioned Watson. Watson is a service you can put in. So for instance, you go to Bluemix, you set up a Linux server, you set up an object store, and you want that data put through Watson to use the whole wealth of the Watson artificial intelligence. It's like plugging it together with drag and drop and a few pipes, and you can actually leverage these things that we might normally be able to afford. But what the Bluemix challenge is all about is actually making additional services which other people can buy and plug into. So, for instance, one service which is offered there, which is very popular, is Redis. If anybody's familiar with setting up servers, you know that sometimes you need to have some in-memory storage to make everything really quick. Redis is actually sold as a service within IBM Bluemix, and so they have a module which is free, but they also can do the whole thing for you. So they have a subscription model. So what they're specifically looking at is they want people to modularize functionality that could be put into a sort of server or a sort of a big application environment that can sort of have an input and an output so that it can be plugged in easily in between other business services. And what they're really offering for this is that what they offer is basically what Apple offer in the App Store. They offer a pretty big audience. So it's not for everybody, this challenge. I mean, it's not really something which is, I would say it's not something which, you know, you can just think, oh, I've got something very simple over here, I'll just dump it in there. I think you've got to be quite serious about what you actually want to create in there. But again, just like the Apple App Store, if you do create something which is appealing, you do have a pretty big audience to sell it to, and also you have a pretty big monetization model, because on the other end of IBM Bluemix, everybody's paying. All the big corporates are paying for stuff. And so when they asked me to present this, and I did some IBM Bluemix training, you know, I was asking questions of IBM, like, well, most of the people in this community, and the people that I know, have got no idea what a service is worth. You know, we're used to paying, I don't know, nothing, or if we pay for anything, we try and pay, you know, like a tenner a month or something for a service online. And so I asked them, you know, how would IBM help us out here? And so essentially what they're willing to do, or what the services they will provide, is they'll give us quite a lot of support in actually curating whether something could be kind of sellable in the IBM cloud, because it's pointless making something and then it just doesn't fit in at all with the whole kind of model. They'll also give us advice as to what people that are IBM customers might be paying for such solutions, so that we know that what we're doing could be something valuable or not. And probably the price is way higher than we're used to, because in these kind of corporate environments, of course, people are used to paying quite a lot of money. I don't think there is any real any rules apart from that. You can come up with any idea. You can have access to Bluemix for free. If anybody is interested, what the sort of time frame is, I've got it on another slide here, but we've got until January to choose the 5 best for the Netherlands. So we've probably got until November, December time to have, between our startup, our meetup group and several other meetup groups, we've basically got to generate maybe 45 potential projects to go into this. So we've got some time. The final selection, which is in January, will be something where you actually have to go and present. But in between then, it's all what they call hack at home. So it's all stuff which you can prepare at home. You can have frequent contact with people at IBM. I can put you in contact with people that they're sort of going through a funnel of ambassadors. So I'm an ambassador for this part of the Netherlands, and then there's somebody else for Eindhoven, somebody else for Rotterdam, etc. So I can put you in contact with people if you have questions. And the whole sort of process, I think what we'll do is I thought of linking them to these meetups. So basically, maybe on the next meetup, if I get enough people that are interested and want to actually work through the whole problem, if you like. I call this a problem statement, because it's, we're being asked to come up with some ideas, but actually the problem for us is, what sort of ideas are valuable? What sort of things could we come up with? Is it something that we're at all interested in? Maybe nobody wants to enter that world. So I think that maybe what I would like to do is at the next meetup, if anybody, I would gather people that might be interested, and maybe we start at 4 o'clock or something, and just have a sit down and actually look through all the documentation that's being provided by the foyer for now and also by IBM, and group together and just see, okay, what questions have we got, and then let's schedule a Skype call or something with them and actually kind of get some answers. Because for me, I love the idea of this sort of hybrid cloud. I love the idea of all these. Well, I love the idea of getting access to Watson, to be quite honest. Nothing else really. That's actually what I'd like to do. But the idea of actually having an app store is more in our world, where you're providing more business and infrastructure services, is also quite appealing as well. So they gave me this slideshow. That's a bit about 4 years from now. The best thing I can do, because we're running out of time, is to put this online or to send it to people. 3 global challenges in one, hack at home. So so Madrid, Amsterdam, this is our date. We have to, the big final day is 20th of January in Madrid and Amsterdam together. We're apparently grouped with them, and then there's one in London, Toronto, Los Angeles, Singapore and Bangalore. So I think it's quite significant that Amsterdam is selected as a sort of European hub as well. So I think that's actually quite interesting for us, some of the work that a lot of people have done over the years to try and promote Amsterdam.
But not New York, not San Francisco.
Sorry?
Not New York, not San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying they choose all the loser cities. Oh yeah. Shit. Sounded so good until then, didn't it? So the idea is eventually we want to, the final pitch sessions is in February in Barcelona. This is the Mobile World Congress, so this is what it's all leading up to. The January time frame is the regional demo days. So we've basically got this preparation period from July and August, and then we have this activation to activate challenges going through September, October and November, up to November the 5th. And then I think that the November the 5th to December through to December is about getting regional demo days. I think we're going to be asked to arrange, if we have enough people interested here, we're probably going to be asked to arrange a small regional, part of the regional demo day.
What do they mean by tracks? Because I see now they have different tracks in which you can develop.
Yeah, that was on the previous slide. They've got this home. Yeah, they've got this. These things: smarter healthcare, smarter home and lifestyle, and connected transportation. There's sort of 3 tracks which they're trying to promote on.
Jonathan, is this the first time they do the challenge, or is there a previous one with showcase?
Yeah, that's actually a really really good question. I don't know. I'll have to ask them. I got the impression that this 4 years from now is a sort of something that started a couple of years ago, and it has a 4-year time because it has to do something 4 years from now. But I must say the prices are actually pretty crap. I mean, all participants get a 50% discount on the ticket to the conference, right? Kind of like, you get a T-shirt, so that's pretty good. I think that's actually worth more than that, because you have to pay a flight to get to that one. You get some free exhibition space. Wow, that's right, really great. I think the idea is really we have to explore a little bit the next month or so, and you have to really want to put something in Bluemix, and you want to have to make a business out of it, and you want to have to sell it. if you don't want to do that, if after you've explored the possibilities, it's not what you want to do, I don't really think this challenge is any good to you. If you really have a look at it and you think, hey, that's a great, that could be a great platform for me to launch something, it could be a way to monetize some work that I've already done, which could be turned into a business service, then I think it's worth going forward. And then it doesn't really matter what these prizes are down the line. The whole thing is you want to get on the stage at the Mobile World Congress, because IBM are basically, as soon as you've got that far, IBM are going to have you in their sort of app store, and they're going to be promoting you, and they're going to be helping you. So you're going to be making good business out of it anyway if you get that far. So I think it's really a sort of philosophical viewpoint. You have to look at it and think, okay, is this something which I want to, is being part of the Bluemix, is that something I really want to do? I can see myself being part of that kind of club, and I think that it's something which is profitable for me, and then all the rest is kind of like Bluemix swag. I think you can get that anyway.
Just want to experiment with Watson.
Yeah, or you want to do something really cool with Watson. And then, yes, exactly. As you go along, you'll get some free access to some of the services, so that's also good.
Actually, it is free for all of us for a month or so.
Yeah, you can get IBM Bluemix is priced differently than other services. It's one of the parts of feedback that I gave. I think their pricing is not very transparent actually, because on Amazon it's really, you add it up, you say, okay, this server is this many eurocents per hour, then you work out how many hours there are in a month, and you know how much you're going to pay. So IBM Bluemix is all done on computational units or something. So actually you get a certain amount of computational units a month for your first year. If you work it out, that means you can basically have the same as Amazon, you can have a server. But I don't know how much that's going to cost if I suddenly use some Watson. You have to do a lot of math and calculation. If I'm going to get something for free, or if I'm going to get a big bill, you have to put a credit card in when you sign up. So yeah, I think personally that for our crowd, I think that they can be a little bit more transparent with their pricing model. But it is true, everybody can have an account for free. I think you can basically get one server for free for at least a year. So you know, you have got that opportunity to play around anyway. But I'm pretty sure that I mean, they're offering much more for free here. So if you want to play with services, you want to have a few different servers up, play with Watson, etc. I'm pretty sure that we can get some decent free accounts.
Yeah, they're working in Bangalore too, so.
Sorry?
They work in Bangalore too. Those people don't have credit cards.
Ah, yeah, that's true. How does that work? That probably doesn't. We have to get the boss to do it. Yeah, so that's the challenge. So anyway, what I'll do is next meetup, if people are interested, I'll start something a bit early. We'll separate it because it's going to be quite specific, and it's not going to be for everybody. And if I think there's enough people, then I'll say, yeah, you know, we'll try and get up to 15 people to be part of this kind of regional demo thing. And if I think there's just like 2 or 3 people interested, then I might just say, hey, you know, let's get together with Eindhoven or Rotterdam or something and just try and do something together. But Amsterdam's pretty big, and we've got a big thriving community, so I can imagine it could be that there would be we could get enough interest here to make a decent sort of regional demo. So has anybody got questions which I probably can't answer any of?
How do can play around with this Watson stuff as well? How do you like it?
Oh, well, yeah, you just go and get an account on Bluemix and you can already play with Watson.
Okay.
I mean, you can route some data through it and you can see what it does. And
So
that's already for free. Yeah, so that's no problem. Anybody from IBM here? No? Hope somebody was going to be here.
is there any mention with this initiative with Urian about the hackathon?
No, I don't think so at all. I think that IBM Bluemix is just it's another service which is it's not so new as others, but I mean, in my opinion, Amazon took the balls by the horns. They went straight in there. Everybody knows Amazon Cloud Services. Almost everybody uses it. Google came afterwards with their App Engine, and it's kind of got a loyal user base. I think IBM have come in next down the line, but you know, I think typically with IBM is not the sort of company it was when I was young. It was like the big bad wolf, but you know, I get loads of my open source development stuff from IBM for years. Loads of their IBM Developer Works has been supporting loads of open source projects. They did develop and invent a ton of technology that we use today. And I don't know, it seems like a bit more of a friendly organisation than it used to be. And I must say that they've done, if I log into Bluemix and I see the services available, and I was thinking, okay, that would be great. That would have been great if those things were on Amazon. You know, I think they have kind of done it quite well. But the one thing that they can't step over is the fact that they are Big Blue. They do make their money from huge, huge corporates, and that's the reason why I call on them to help us. You know, I was just saying to the guys on the Skype call, I said, you know, I just got no clue what a service is worth to, I don't know, I mean, you know, these huge companies that they deal with. I mean, if IBM are going to make money out of it, it can't be cheap. And so they, on the other end of the Skype, were saying, oh yeah, well, you know, we know how to work out pricing models, we know all this kind of stuff, etc. So, you know, for me, it's a big learning process as well, because I got no clue. And that's a big hurdle that they have to step over if they want people like us to contribute. They have to let us know what it's worth, how it fits in. They have to. Also, I don't know. I mean, a question which is hanging, which they're still getting back to me on, is I said, okay, let's say that I make a service and it goes into an app store, and a really big company purchases it. What's my liability? Do I have to support it? You know, do I have to give a minimum level of response time on that forever? What's the relationship? What happens after you've gone down the track? Because in the App Store with Apple, it's pretty simple. You sell it, you never see them again. But I'm sure it's not the same. Actually, you never see them in the first place. Oh, someone downloaded it. Wow, 99 cents. You know. I mean, we're obviously not talking about 99 cents. We're talking about different solution-based, but you know, for me, it's a whole different ball game. Learning process for me. Okay.